care, we know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs in the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. We'll treat you right.
All right. So whenever you have something goes wrong in your life, and somebody else has something go wrong the same way, they'll say to you, "Hey, I remember once you had a cough. What did you do for that cough? I remember one time you had a flat tire. What did you do for that flat tire? I remember one time you had a timing belt go. What did you do for that timing belt?" I took it to Matt Gibbs. I remember one time you had a water pump that needed to be replaced. What did you? I went to Matt Gibbs. I remember one time you had a leaky radiator. What did you do? I brought the car to Matt Gibbs. I remember one time you hit a cow. What did you do? I went to Matt Gibbs. In the last example, tomorrow I get another car.
Yes.
I don't want to say new because it's actually older than my old car, but it's a beautiful car and it's a new engine.
Yes.
So that's kind of like a new car, isn't it? When it's a new.
It's an older car with a new engine. It is what it is.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. But what's old about it? I mean, if it's a new engine, everything else is old?
The rest of the car is still the rest of the car. It was like I was telling you, I actually bought it from one of my customers, so I know how it was maintained and serviced because we maintained and serviced it for many years. And they were going to fix the car, but then grandchildren started coming into the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided then to get something that they could comfortably put their grandchildren in, and so they went and bought a different style of car.
I got you. Well, I'm very happy with what you how you've helped me out. So you know what the bottom line is for all those things is trust. This is absolutely the truth, man. I just trust you. Every time when people found out that I hit a cow, I had emails from everybody telling me, here's where I should go, this is what you should do, everybody, and they all meant well. But the problem is, I don't know anything about cars. So if I'm going to go to an online classified ad thing, or if I'm going to, you know what I mean? Or if I'm going to see a sign on the side of a road, this car for sale, I won't know what I'm looking at.
Right.
So, but you've already done the homework. You've gone through it with a fine-tooth comb, and so that's why I trust you.
And and that's what we do. Not just because it's Larry and me and Larry have a radio show every Monday.
Right. Oh, and I hope people don't think that.
Right. And I don't either. But the bottom line is that this is what we do for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't treat you no different than I would have treated anybody else that comes into our dealership.
Right.
And I had a matter of fact, I think I told you this the other day. I had some folks that came in and bought a car from us, and they want to trade it in and get another car. And most dealers out there, they would, you come up with X amount of dollars, give us the car. You still owe on this car, and the car's worth this, and you still owe this. So what they'll do is they'll just add the difference to the price of the new car that they're buying, and everybody supposedly is happy. But at the end of the day, once the deal's done, now you've just increased your debt by X amount of dollars. And I told the guy, I said, I don't feel comfortable doing that to you. Drive it for another year, and the value of the car would be, now you're at the place.
Well, that's the compassion in you. I didn't have a whole lot of people to deal with because of this accident, but you were the only one who cared. You were absolutely the only one who cared. The insurance people did not care. They didn't care. Not only did they not care, they never called me once. I had to call them every time to say, what do I do?
Right.
What do I do? And they absolutely didn't care. So thank you. I mean, truthfully, you were the only one I could trust and the only one who even seemed to care. And I don't know, I can't say it anymore, but that's the bottom line. Do you know I have an idea for a legislative idea. Tell me what you think of this legislative idea. I think because you educated me about the value of a car and et cetera. So here's what I think. When you have collision insurance, the state should have a law that says the insurance company has to, if you're not at fault, the state has to, the insurance company has to replace your car, not just give you the value of it. Because that's crazy. If your car is only worth $500, how are you ever going to replace it?
Right, and that's one of the reasons why. And when you first hit the cow, I was under the assumption that you did have the type of coverage that would cover that.
Right, and I didn't. And I'm not complaining about my situation, but I'm saying if I did have
right, and there actually is there's a couple insurance companies, and there's a policy that you can buy to have replacement type insurance. But here's the thing: is I don't know if that would have helped you a whole lot anyways, because the replacement insurance that you'd have had on that particular car would have only gotten you the money to get that type of car. So, but
that's better than $500 where you can't get any car.
Well, but here would be the deal: is that particular car would have been. It would have been difficult to find that car that would have been dependable, drivable, useful car. You see what I'm saying? Without having to get the car and then bringing it in and having the timing belt done. Now, and that was one of the reasons why when I said, well, let's get the receipts, because they will take in consideration that you just spent this much money putting the timing belt and the water pump and the radiator in there, and. But I look at it like this, Larry. I think at the end of the day, it all worked out. I mean, the man that owned the cow.
Oh, he was awesome.
He did and you weren't there. You and Robin weren't at my office. They just came in and he met me and introduced himself to me, and his heart was, I want to do the right thing.
Right, absolutely.
Kudos to him.
Well, okay, so I take it back. You were not the only person who cared. He cared too.
He did care.
He cared too.
He really did.
Yeah.
And I thought that was awesome that here you people that cared surrounded themselves around you and basically took care of.
That's God too. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like you had favor in this whole situation, and everything was going to be taken care of.
But see, you didn't really owe me anything. I guess he did in a way owe me something because it was his cow. But the insurance company, I pay every month for years. They owe me something.
Right.
But they didn't even call me.
Right.
They still haven't called me.
Right.
So
it's sad how it's at the end of the day, I say this a lot, and this whole thing that happened, I got to eat my words on this one because it wasn't just about the money. So many times it's just at the end of the day, it's only about money.
Right.
But in this situation, we got to actually see decent people do decent things.
Right.
And that made it, it almost gave me a glimmer of, there's still hope for us, Oh,
I love that. Yeah. Of course, his wife she didn't know who I was, and so she, with squinty eyes, said, "Are you sure you're not going to come back at me with something?"
Well, I understand where she was coming from. She was just,
because I look like the hood, I had a hoodie on, and I just was, I was rapping, and as I walked in the door,
yeah, had a gun in you had a gun sideways when you walked in.
Oh goodness. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's a convertible.
It's a convertible.
I can't wait. I can't believe you said to me, "Will you put the top down?" Why would I not put the top down?
And the reason I asked that was...
Do I look that old?
No.
Besides, I see old people with the top down all the time. Old people and blondes.
My last three cars... my last three cars... Actually, I'm going to rephrase that. My wife's last three cars was a really nice Chrysler 300 with the grill and all decked out sunroof. Then she got a Pacific. After, when Joey got hurt, we had to sell her car, and we had to get a crossover to put his wheelchair in. Sunroof. She has now a Buick Enclave. Sunroof. I don't know if they work. I don't know if they ever.
Oh, because she don't use them.
She never opens the sunroof.
Oh, okay.
So you have this feature, and you just never use it.
Oh, did I ever tell you when I had my Sidekick? It was a convertible. It was the Snap-on convertible.
Yeah.
Okay. And my son was still little, or a teenager, I guess, and we went through the Blue Ridge Parkway, and it was the most beautiful drive ever. Just driving through the Blue Ridge Parkway with that top off of that car. And I said to my son, "It doesn't get any better than this. That road is perfectly smooth. It was a perfect day. It wasn't hot. It wasn't cold. And I said, it doesn't get any better than this until 2 fat, tired motorcycles went past us. And we both looked at those 2 bikers, and I said, well, that would be better than this. That's the only thing that would have been better than that, is if we were bikers. But I don't trust myself on a bike.
No.
Do you bike? I can't remember.
No. There's no motorcycles are allowed to come up our driveway anymore.
We've taken a little break. We'll be right back. If you have a question about your car, I feel like last several weeks it's been all about my car. We'll take a break, and your calls are welcome. 622-9622. Matt's here on Labor Day. If you think this is a rerun, it's not. 622-9622. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sunny to partly cloudy with a thunderstorm during the afternoon and evening hours today, a high of 85 to 88. Partly cloudy later tonight, a low 72 to 75. And we'll have some thunderstorms again during the late day hours tomorrow and Wednesday. Otherwise, it's partly sunny, high of 88 to 92 both days. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Ooh, ouch. Does pain have you glued to the couch? Yes, unfortunately it's true that every year we must get older, but that doesn't mean we have to deal with pain in our back, knees, or shoulder. If your muscles and joints are sore, don't worry anymore. Come get acupuncture from me and you'll be pain-free. Acupuncture starts as low as $35 at a Better You Healthcare. Call me, Dr. Erica Olstein, at 615-5566. Stop your pain from driving you insane.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood. And when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
All right, 18 minutes after 10 o'clock. Matt Gibbs is here from Sunrise Automotive. I didn't even properly introduce you earlier. Auto Repair with Personal Care is the name of the show. Matt is the owner of Sunrise Automotive, and that garage has fixed my car so many times. And Crossroad Auto Sales, and that business just, well, tomorrow will sell me a car. We made an agreement on Friday, but because of the holiday and everything. And it is a holiday, and Matt is here. And Matt, you do have somebody waiting patiently. Good morning. Thank you for calling in for waiting. Matt, you're on the air with Matt.
Good morning, Matt. This is Sonny calling.
Hey, Sonny.
And I'm looking at different publications and things in here, and it says coming to a car near you, built-in iOS and Android. Don't they have enough problems with cars being hacked or whatever they call it, hijacked, so they steer off the road just, I don't know, for some mysterious reason, or the guy isn't very strong to overpower the whatever's turning the power steering on them. But it seems to me that with all this stuff they're putting in the vehicles today, plus the computers involved with the operation of the car's engine, the transmission, and now even the suspension, it seems to me you could use some IT people instead of mechanics. And I'm just wondering what the heck your take is on that, and I'll hang up and listen. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.
Well, you just made a tremendous, huge statement, Sonny. That IT guys instead of mechanics. That's what. There's a difference now when I'm looking for help. I look for mechanics, but I'm also looking for technicians, and the technician side of it is more the IT stuff.
Uh-huh.
Some of these Cadillacs have up to 14 operating systems in their car.
Wow.
I mean, it's not just engine, transmission, suspension. There's cruise control, the air conditioning, the power door locks. The horn goes through a computer nowadays. It's
Wow.
it's crazy. If it's electrical, there's some kind of a module or something at the end of the line that controls that device. And what's happened is that all these operating systems on the car, they all have to communicate with each other, and we call that the bus. And it's just like a big giant bus, and all these operating systems have to get on and off this bus. And if something happens to where this device or this operating system, it doesn't get on the bus, well, then it wreaks havoc. It messes up the system. And that's what technicians do today. That the technicians are geared. Yes, they can do the mechanical stuff, but they also have to have the ability to do the computerized stuff. And right now, I'm looking for a technician. I'm not looking for a mechanic. And I interview these guys, and they come in looking for a job, and it doesn't take me but just a minute of their time and my time to determine whether or not they're a technical person or they're a mechanical person.
I bet it wouldn't take a minute for you to tell that I wasn't able.
Yeah, it wouldn't even take. It would be less than a minute. and sometimes I come across very abrupt and rude. Sometimes I'm busy, and they're looking for. And I ask them, "Are you a technician or a mechanic?" And a lot of them don't even understand what it is I'm saying.
Oh, wow.
I can do this. I can do brakes.
Well, is there somebody who can make it easier for you, like a school that could somebody come in with a diploma?
I've tried that before, Larry, and I'll be honest with you. The educators. Okay. I had, and I'm not going to name any names or name any schools, but I had an educator from a school. Now, he's teaching these people.
Right.
Well, he came to me and I hired him. He worked in a dealership. He then went into the education system. Now he's going back into the field, and the guy couldn't. It was awful. And this is somebody who's teaching other people how to do what we need to have done.
Oh, wow.
It was awful.
So there's not
I look at it like this. If you're the guy that I'm looking for, okay, and I hate to say it, and here we go again, but if you're the guy I'm looking for, you're not going to make the money that you're going to make working for me as an educator. Follow me? You're going to want to do what you're good at doing. And
But he wasn't okay. Let me ask you this: there's a school that educates people to work audio equipment and stuff that a radio station or a recording studio. It's called Full Sail. Okay. Then let me tell you about the graduates of Full Sail. This is not across the board. I'm sure there are many exceptions to this, but typically they will have this great knowledge, and they will still be green. They will still come into a studio and still need work, and it's just part of not necessarily in a radio station because there's not a whole lot here, but in the recording studio there's a lot. Okay, so the recording studio kind of knows this, and they will say, well, this is as good as it gets. Full Sail's got a great reputation, so the young kids, they start working at the studio, and the guy who owns the studio still has to teach them. Right. Wouldn't that same thing doesn't apply in your world?
Yes, the same thing applies in my world. There's something about doing it other than learning about it that there's a difference. But here's the thing, and I'm almost sorrowful for even saying this, but I'll tell people when they come in, there's not a teaching bone in my body. There's not.
So you don't want that.
I don't want to teach.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I don't have time to teach, and all it does is frustrate me and get me aggravated. I need to get it done. You when you drop off your car, you need to get home. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You need to go get groceries. You need to go pick up your children. You need to go do what you got to do. And I realize how important that car is to your lifestyle. So therefore, I'm not going to take away. I'm not going to take the time to teach somebody what I feel like they should know. But that's my hang up. Now, I have a guy that works for me. He's an awesome teacher. And we took on a graduate from MTI, the old Forest High School. And I said, okay, this is your job. Your job is to be with him. That's what you do. You're with him. You spend all day with him. He tells you what to do. I'll pay you to hang out with him.
And did that work out?
Oh, it's worked out tremendous.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so that's the solution to the problem.
As you got to have the right person doing the right thing.
Who's the teacher? Can you name him? Which of your guys? Do I know him?
His name is Tom.
Okay.
Thomas. He's a young guy, and Brian is the one that did your water pump and your timing belt and all that stuff.
Right.
And but Brian spends the time with Thomas, and Thomas has that gift. He has the gift to do what needs to be done.
Uh-huh.
And a couple weeks ago, me and Brian were talking, and he said, I believe he's ready to put this engine in this. It's a 5.4 liter Ford V8 3-valve engine. He's ready to do it himself. And I said, if you say he's ready to do it himself, let's let him do it. And he did it, and he did it basically by himself. And he did and me and Brian both went back and oversaw it, and he did an awesome job.
Wow.
And so now he's got like 2 more he's doing.
Oh, wow.
So it's
well,
worked
good
out
for him.
really well.
That's really good. Because I was trying to think, how would you even approach that problem as a school, other than to have apprenticeships or perhaps like the dentist school does in Gainesville, where they actually have people coming in, but they're actually working on dental patients.
Right.
But I don't know. But they have to be at the school level, not at the garage level.
Right. Well, see, when I worked at the dealership, my auto mechanics teacher, when I was in high school, he came and did internships at the dealership during the summertime, just for him to get continuous education.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty smart of him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We have another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Hey, Matt, can you buy, or do they make retread tires for cars?
I don't know. I never would buy them. I don't know if they still buy them. And I don't even do used tires anymore.
Yeah, I live not far from 326, and it's not a heavily traveled road, but just truck traffic on there. And God, there's always those treads laying around that come flying off the trucks, And I was over at a big box store here the other day, and I was waiting. I bought a couple of things that had to be brought out to me, and I went back on the back end there where they pass out stuff. And there was a big, I believe, an 18-wheeler type truck parked out there, and I was waiting for my order to come out. And I looked at the tires, and I was walking around, and I'm telling you, they always say use a penny to tell how much tread you got. I would say that 2/3 of those tires on that truck were slicks, were bald. Is there any kind of a law against that, or can a truck driver get a ticket for driving with bald tires?
I think he probably could if if those road cops, the semi cops pulled him over. I'm sure that there's got to be some kind of a law, because those are safety issues there.
Oh, absolutely. I know many years back, driving on the interstate, I was passing a semi, and one of those treads came off and hit my car and did a little damage on the passenger side. But let me tell you, it scared the heck out of me. And, when they go, they just go,
Yeah. And I think there are retreads on the semi-trucks. I think they still do that. I don't think they do it much on passenger cars.
Because the 326, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Well, we're at the end. I can't wait till tomorrow to
All
pick
right.
up a car.
I'll be there waiting on you.
What is it, a 4-cylinder, 6? What is it?
6-cylinder.
6.
Yeah.
I'm moving up.
There you go.
2 more than I had. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Larry.
See you tomorrow.
Okay, buddy.
Call Matt at his shop. What's the number?
690-1993.
We'll be right back.
OCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. President Obama will mark Labor Day by signing an executive order making government contractors pay sick leave to workers.
Under the policy, they'll be able to get 1 hour of paid sick time for every 30 hours on the job.